Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, EXP family and friends. Welcome and happy Friday to the live studio recording of the Lightwork podcast. My name is Kirtus Dixon, honored to be with you all. If you are regular attendees at this session, you know the drill. You get a couple of quick minutes to get your morning mindset in the right place. If you're not familiar with what we're up to, don't worry. I will explain what we're doing here in just a moment. So, your morning mindset prompt comes today from a podcast I was listening to. It was a psychologist talking about how the mind works and how we become who we become. And the very beginning stages, believe it or not, of evolving into that person that we want to become is to really create a vision of your future self. And the more and more clear we can get that vision, the more we pull ourselves into becoming that future self. So this morning on Friday, I want you to take a moment and just picture your best self a year from now, your best self, right? What's going on with your health and wellness and your well-being? What's going on with your business? What's going on with your relationships, with your family? Picture your best self, not just the things happening to you, but actually you. What do you look like? What do you feel like? What do you do? And more importantly, who are you? Picture that future self. And according to this author and speaker, when you have a more clear picture of your future self, it allows you to simplify and helps you figure out what you should be focusing on right now to move closer to that future self. And I've found it helpful to even maybe give it a name. Name yourself a year from now. A little adjective, something descriptive, something you can latch onto so that you can call on that vision of your future self anytime. And what that should allow you to do, what we're going to do next, your next prompt is that should allow you to really simplify your focus right now. So you've got this picture of your future self, I hope. And if you didn't take enough time to do it now, take some time to do the exercise later today. And with that picture of your future self, what does your number one focus right now need to be to start moving in that direction? Take a moment and identify that number one focus. My focus right now is, all right, everybody, those are your Friday morning mindset prompts. I want to welcome you to a live recording of the Lightwork podcast. We do this every single Friday except for holiday weeks. I call this your weekly energy practice. Every week that we can, we're going to bring you an amazing special guest. That special guest is going to share their story transparently. They're going to give you some strategy, teach you some how-tos, and then they're going to leave you a message of support. Today is an honor to have this amazing special guest. She was just installed as the new president of her board of realtors in her market. She just rocked the stage for thousands of people at EXPCon, an amazing leader, contributor. It is an honor to welcome to the show the one and only Nakia Evans. Good morning, Nakia.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Kirtus and
Oh, it's
EXP.
so great to see you. Thank you for being here and happy Friday. So, Nakia, as you kind of heard the setup for the show and as we were preparing yesterday, this first portion, is an opportunity for you to just share your story. Let the audience get to know you, help them connect. Tell us about Nakia.
Well, thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my story. I always start out by telling people that I'm a book because you are going to want more once I give you this little bit. But Kirtus has given me enough time to breeze on through. So I'm going to start right where everyone thought was a fault of mine. I was a teenage mom. I had 3 kids at the age of 19. I had my first son when I was 17, and then I turned around and I did it again at 19. But at 19, I had twins, Kirtus. And yes, 3 at the age of 19. So that I didn't let that stop me. I purchased my first house in 1998. I bought a HUD house. I did a 203K loan. I rehabbed the house, right? With 3 kids and at that young age. Then we outgrew that first house and I bought my second house in 2002 with a realtor who actually told me to get a real estate license. And so in 2002, I got a real estate license and I really didn't take it serious. I'm just going to be honest with everybody here today. I didn't take real estate serious. I thought I had a full-time job. So I thought real estate would just give me some extra money, an extra opportunity to make some money from me and my kids, right? And maybe to buy more properties. But in 2014, when I was with a small broker, she got married, she moved to Florida, so she did not renew her Maryland license, so I had to find a different broker. So I had to go back to real estate school a little bit, brush up my skills, and that's where I stumbled into the GRI designation, the National Association of Realtors, GRI designation, and they taught me that real estate was a business. And so I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And just to add a little more to my story, let me back up real quick. In 2011, so I told you guys from 2002 all the way up to 2014, I always had a job. In 2011, I was hit head on by a drunk driver on the highway. I don't talk about this a lot, but I was just driving home on a highway, and a drunk driver actually got on the highway on the wrong side, and he hit my car head on. And luckily for me, and this is what the emergency room doctor said, I was driving a Volvo truck, an XC60, a white XC60. I'll never forget the Volvo a day in my life, okay? And that drunk driver hit me head on. There was no way for me to swerve out the way. I couldn't get out the way. Everybody always asks that question. But he hit me head on. I actually saw his face as the cars were hitting. But what I thought about is that I have these 3 children, and I have a daughter. And I thought at this moment in time, my daughter was 16. That's when a 16-year-old girl needs her mom the most. And I just immediately thought, no, my daughter needs me. I'm going to stay right here on earth, and I'm going to get her to the finish line. So miraculously, and this is what the emergency room doctor said, that Volvo saved my life. So I am still here today, and I'm still raising this daughter. She's 27. Her twin is 27, of course. And then my 29-year-old son. So these 3 children still have their mom, okay? So back to 2015. 2015, I did the GRI. I actually got a broker's license. In Maryland, there's a couple different licenses. I got a broker's license, and I was thinking, if I'm going to go into real estate, I'm probably going to open my own business. But the small brokerage I was at was bought out by a big broker. CB is the initials. And so I wound up at CB. All right. First year, I won their first level award. My second year that I'm really taking it serious, I won the second level award. Third year, I was approached to become a broker manager. They said, hey, you volunteer at the board. You're a serial volunteer. You're in leadership in your community. Why don't you be a leader at this company? And reluctantly, I said yes. Because mind you, I was just on like 2 to 3 years of no employment, like total freedom, right, of my own schedule. But I said, all right, I am taking all these leadership classes, and I am volunteering. I was like the president of the Women's Council. So I was like, they punked me. They was like, how you gonna be a leader in the industry and not be a leader and get a paycheck? I was like, okay. So what happened is I accepted that job. I became a master recruiter. They coached me, and I became a master recruiter. My first year in that position, I recruited 53 agents. My second year, 56 agents. Third year is when COVID hit. But I really didn't let that stop me either, because I recruited 22 between January and April. There was a really big slowdown from March through June, or July June was my last time being a manager at that company. COVID hit. That was recruiting season. I'm coming to believe. Rich Thomasini, my sponsor at EXP, went on Facebook in my DM. We have this running joke that he DM'd me. He dropped in my DM, and he set up a Zoom meeting for us. Never gave me his phone number or anything. Set up a Zoom meeting, say, let's get to know each other. I'm in this business, you're in this business. I think I have, a little bit of information for you. So I made a mistake, and I attended a Zoom call, EXP Explain, and I could not unsee and unhear the math. Okay. I didn't tell you guys. So I've been in network marketing, direct sales all of my adult life. Mary Kay, Avon, Total Life Changes, soul purpose, longevity, just to name a few. So I am a master of comp plans. I take a look at the comp plan. I take a look at the product, of course, and then the comp plan. And if I can work that comp plan, I'm game. So when Rich Tomasini showed me EXP Explained, I was like, oh, wait a minute. This sounds like me. It's kind of like direct sales and real estate mixed together. So I was excited by it, but I still had that job, right? I was still getting a paycheck. Finally, on my birthday, I turned 44 that year. On my birthday, I had an alter ego party. I dressed up as like Beyonce, and I invited some of my closest friends, very close friends, to do an alter ego photo shoot. And on that day, I decided that I wanted to have fun for the rest of my life, and I would retire from employment. And I still had that EXP Explain call and that information waiting for me. So I was like, that could be a plan B. So I was like, let's see, let me take a look at this again before I decide. But I retired. I put in my notice on my 44th birthday, that Monday after my birthday, and after that pajama party with my friends. And I said, I'm just not going back to work. I'm going to partner up with Rich Tomasini, EXP, and I'm going to give this thing a chance because I believed in myself. When Rich talked to me about EXP, he explained to me that I could build my own brokerage and run it through the support system and the tools at EXP Realty. Now, I did a lot of research. I became a private investigator. I investigated him. I watched every single YouTube video there was. I got to know Brent Gove, everybody, Gene Frederick. I watched all of the videos and I was like, okay, let me give this a shot. And really, that almost brings us right to where we are today. I gave it a shot. I'm here. I'm loving it. I will just tell you guys today, I have a rev share organization of 103 real estate agents in 10 states right now. And they are all active. They're all excited about EXP. And I'm excited because they're excited. And they're just here. They're probably listening right now, I can bet.
Well, Nakia, I sure hope they are. My goodness. First of all, I want to thank you for sharing your story so transparently. Second, I want to say thank you to that white Volvo XC60 and that mama and mamba mentality to not be done, not leave this earth. I'm so glad you're here. And I know millions probably are around the globe, whether they know it or not. Nakia, thank you. And just so glad. Thank you for sharing that story. Want to welcome everybody. If you're just tuning in, just joining us in EXP World, you're listening to a live recording of the Lightwork podcast, joined by the amazing Nakia Evans today. Nakia, I always take notes, and I think it's so important that we reiterate, restate some of the energy that you're bringing to this session this morning. So I want to first focus on some of your vocabulary, right? I always like to call out to everyone listening how much language matters. And so far this morning, some of the notes that I have, you started out with some early language of not taking your real estate license seriously, right? And for whatever reason, maybe it was a belief, maybe it was that job, every single person out there probably can relate to some experience of just not taking this opportunity in life, wherever they're at, seriously enough. But very quickly, you shifted your language to realizing real estate was a business opportunity. So if someone hasn't had that realization out there, it's time to realize, right? It's not just selling houses. It's not just commissions. It's not a job. It's a business opportunity. Then you've used the word master. You talked about master recruiter. You talked about master of compensation plan. You've talked about mastery. How many of you out there would describe yourself as a master? And if you're not brave enough, if you don't use those words, it's time to latch on to that identity. You are a master of something, right, Nakia? Everyone out there is, and you just need to identify that, write it down, own it. Big shout out to Rich Tomasini. Love Rich myself as well. So glad you and Rich connected. And then the next thing you've talked about, and this kind of will transition us to the next thing I want to cover, is you talked about as you were going through this journey, understanding the compensation plan, becoming a private investigator, deciding you wanted to retire from work, there was this underlying thread of belief in yourself. And it sounds like, that belief might have taken decades to build and is probably true for all of us, but you had it and you knew you had it and you've referenced it a couple of times. So for people out there listening, because I believe you're a master builder of your life and your reality. And I think you do it very much on purpose. Is there a formula, Nakia, for our audience listening, if they want to build who they are, who they'll become on purpose? Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes. So for me, I develop all of my strategies in acronyms, right? And
Okay.
today, I want to just talk about authenticity and confidence. We have to always be our authentic selves. Like I am Nakia Evans. I will tell you all day long. I believe in myself more than I believe in anything on this earth, or walking this earth, I should say, right? I believe that I could do anything. After you are 19 with 3 kids, I know, and I will tell you that you can do anything. And when I say that, I'm saying it confidently, and I'm saying it with confidence, okay? So let's use the acronym confidence to give my strategy. All right.
All
So
right. I love it.
C is coachability. All right, you guys have got to know that you can become the most successful person and the most talented person that you can be authentically with some coaching. There has to be someone around you to coach you. There's always someone around to coach you, and you have to be willing to accept that coaching. Okay. Then the that's for optimism, for dreams. How can you quit a job making so much money, making bonuses because you're good at the job? How can you quit that? You have to have some serious optimism, right? And you gotta have some serious dreams, all right? And never give up. Never give up. My rep share organization was stuck in the 80s for like 3 to 4 months, and I was like, oh man, maybe I messed up. Maybe I got to go back to work. But I decided I would never give up. Never give up. I looked to all of the leaders in this company: Gene Frederick, Brent Gove, Rich, Dave Kennard, who I met at Sprint when I won the Sprint contest. I looked to them as leadership and coaches that would make me never give up on this business, right? Focus, 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 future and finances is the F. Focus, future and finances. I is for impact, influence, and invitations. You have to invite people to figure out this business, to learn about this business, to become private investigators, to figure out who you are becoming. You have to show your confidence online, because we had COVID for the past year or so. And so we had to meet new friends, meet people on the phone and online. And if we weren't confident in the way that we exhibited our business plans, our visions, our dreams, and our impact and our influence, we would have never been able to explain EXP, right? Or the business model of EXP, or how we benefit from the business model. D is daily discipline. Oh my goodness. When people meet me, they say, I'm so disciplined. I am. I only take emails at certain times. I only take calls at certain times. Sometimes you have to book an appointment on my calendar to talk. I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I have to stay focused and I have to stay disciplined. And the only way to do that is to have some structure and systems in place in your business. So I am disciplined daily. I didn't tell you guys my dad was in the military, so maybe I got that in my blood. He retired as a sergeant major after years of being in the Army. So I probably got a little touch of military kid in me, okay? Then we're going to go to energy and enthusiasm, okay? I'm probably loud. I'm probably excited. I am enthusiastic. I wake up like this. Sometimes I scare myself. I'm like, woo, slow down. Take a break. But I can't, because I am enthusiastic about life, especially right now, while I have all of these great people surrounding me, while I have this great circle, while I have leaders like you who pour into me, who pull out of me as well. I'm excited to get up every single day. I pour into many people at 8 a.m. Eastern time every single morning. I wake up with an intent to coach people, to pour into people every single day, Monday through Friday. That's what I do, right? Then you got another N, and that is my need for more. Need for more. I'm always looking for more. They call me Nakia Too Much Evans. Last night, I wore a red sequins and velour dress to become the president of my local board of realtors. Now, I bet there's never been no one that's done that before. Oh, and I didn't tell you the split was all the way up my thigh, right? I had my leg out. I was showing a little leg. I had some diamond sandals on. I was ready to go. But I realized that people out there also have a need for more. And the members of my local board of realtors, they wanted more from our organization. And I decided that I was going to be the one to give more, to give authenticity, to give confidence, and to let you know that it's okay to walk into the room as yourself at any given moment. It doesn't matter where you are or where you're going. You have to be yourself. And if you can't walk in as yourself, then you need to stay home. Because that's what I do. I stay home if I can't be myself. I'm not going. I'll tell people in Harvard, I'm not going because I can't be Nakia. I got to be Nakia wherever I go, okay? Next up is confidence. I just gave y'all so much confidence, right? But communication is important because sometimes your confidence can scare a little bit of people, right? But are those your people? You got to ask yourself. If someone is scared of your confidence, is that your person? Sometimes you got to move on or go on to the next. But you do have to use your communication skills very well to communicate everything you want to communicate. So I'm careful a little bit, just a little bit. But if I can't be Nakia and I can't communicate as Nakia, then I'm probably not going to participate. All right. And the last but not least, and that word confidence is that E, that last E, right? Or the second E is execution. A lot of people don't execute. They allow people like Kirtus Dixon, Rich Thomasini, Glenn Sanford, Grant Cardone. They allow all of you guys and everybody to pour into them, and then they never execute. And that's where I find the biggest problem, the biggest struggle, and the biggest roadblock for people, the biggest blind spot for people is executing. Just go. Don't wait. I have a saying, and it goes like this: stop stopping. Stop stopping and let's get moving. Stop stopping. A lot of people just keep stopping. You cannot stop. That is the problem. That's probably your only problem, is that you stopped. So stop stopping. But I'm going to stop now, Kirtus, because it's your turn.
Woo! Oh my goodness. So Nakia, I know that there might be people listening to this eventually on the podcast. There's probably people that are obviously watching the live streaming workplace, but if they're sitting in EXP world at their computer, I hope they have a page of notes. But for anybody who's listening to this, and didn't take all the notes, if you don't mind, I'm just going to restate quickly your acronym confidence, because you just poured about 10 minutes of confidence into anybody who's listening. As you and I were prepping, we created a title for this session, which is Dream All the Way. And then you ended it with stop stopping, right? Get moving on that dream. While Nakia was describing all those key components of confidence, hopefully your wheels were turning. You were identifying focus. You were solidifying your vision. You were deepening your belief. But C is for coachability. O is for optimism and belief that you can pursue those dreams. N is for never giving up. F is for focus, future, and finances. I was for impact, influence, and invitations. Such a key word again. How many of you out there regularly think about the fact that you are inviting people into your life? You're inviting partners into your business. You're inviting new friends, new relationship, and maybe new family into your world, right? And if you're not thinking of some of these new relationships as invitations, you might be missing an opportunity to create the optimal experience that could change your life and theirs, the word invitation. D for daily discipline. I love that you throw that word daily in there, Nakia, because if you've ever read The Compound Effect, or you've ever really changed or created a habit, you know that it's daily activity, daily progress. It's not weekly perfection. It's not monthly sometimes. It's not when you feel like it. It is daily discipline that gets you there. E for energy and enthusiasm. That's why we do these shows every Friday, Nakia, is to gift people some energy for this Friday so they can go out and turn this Friday into a really powerful day, build on it this weekend, be on fire for next week. N is your need for more, right? I bet everyone listening has a little bit of that N in them. The question is, are you willing to walk into a room with that need for more? Are you there to create for others? Are you a serial volunteer, right? Are you giving back? Are you willing to wear that red dress, Ms. President? Did see your videos and all that. And what was beautiful, here's what I'm going to share again with Nakia talking about authenticity and being herself. When she walked in that room, I was watching all your social, Nakia. I watched it last night and this morning. People were just, they felt the energy and enthusiasm that red dress, that confidence brought. They were dancing. There were people dying to be in that picture with you because, as you said, any board of realtor, any business, everybody wants more. They just might not be willing to raise their hand and ask for it. They don't know what they're looking for till she shows up, right? So N is that need for more. C, confidence and communication. Love it. Calling out the communication being such a big component of how you build your confidence. And then last but not least, E, that execution. Bust through that roadblock, go past the blind spot, identify it and move forward. Stop stopping. Let's get moving. What a great message. And I know we probably could keep going, Nakia, for hours and hours. Everybody, I encourage you to find Nakia, follow her. She's very social. She's very authentic. You can get more and more from Nakia because she's such a willing giver. I heard her say at EXPCon, if I'm talking, I'm teaching. So find Nakia talking if you want to learn more and you want to be more motivated to get moving. But Nakia, I'm going to ask you for just kind of one final closing message here for this audience today. You shared so much, but if you could make sure that anybody listening takes away one message today, Nakia, what's that final message?
Okay, it's a quick paragraph. Bring it when you walk into the room and make people miss you when you leave. Okay? As first, then dream all the way. Believe in yourself, believe in your vision, be you, be your biggest cheerleader, be your team's biggest cheerleader, and never stop going for it all. Go for it all. Never stop going for it all. Dream all the way.
Whew. Well, Nakia, you've got people dreaming this morning. If you were tuning in live in EXP World, we thank you. If you're listening to the replay on podcast or YouTube video, what an amazing session, Nakia. I want to say a huge thank you for encouraging all of us to dream all the way. I'm going to tell everybody where they can find and follow you here online. So if you want to follow Nakia, we recommend you connect with her on Instagram. That's at Moving with Nakia. She shares her life, her business, so many things transparently. Get connected to her. Such a leader, such a giver. We encourage you to join us every single Friday for our live recording of the Lightwork podcast, your weekly energy practice. We're going to let the team get ready here live in EXP World for the Friday morning agent leadership meeting. We have amazing hosts today, Stacy Onen, President of U.S. Brokerage Operations, and Lindsay Stevens. Nakia, thanks again for joining. Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Kirtus, and everybody, hello.